After hearing the wonderful story of the Mahabharata from Jaimini Rishi and becoming eager to hear more, Maharaj Janamejaya, the son of Maharaj Parikshit, asked, "O Brahman, the nectar I found in your narration of Mahabharata, I did not find in Vaishampayana's version. Please, now sweetly finish that story." Jaimini Rishi answered, "By Sukadeva Goswami's instructions, your father, Maharaj Parikshit, had become free from all fear, wise in spiritual knowledge, and plunged in love for Sri Krishna. At that moment, when he was preparing to ascend to the spiritual world, his mother, Uttara, who was also a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and who was at first distressed, and then encouraged by her son, and had to become cheerful, asked him,
'My dear son, as nectar was churned from the ocean of milk, please extract for me the essence of what Sukadeva Goswami has taught you.'"
Jaimini Rishi continued, "Maharaj Parikshit, who was both affectionate to his mother and eager to repeat the wonderful nectar of Lord Govinda he had just heard, respectfully answered, 'Mother, although at this time I was planning to follow a vow of silence, the sweetness of your question makes me very eager to speak. Bowing down, by my Guru, Srila Sukadeva Goswami's mercy, to the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, who gave life to both you and your son, by the power of his mercy, I shall now speak to you the beautiful Bhagavatamrita, the nectar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. Please listen with great attention." Once, during the month of Magh at Prayag, the best of holy places, many great sages bathed in the morning, happily sat down near the deity of Lord Madhava, and, thinking how to attain spiritual success, praised each other, saying, "Oh, you are very dear to Lord Krishna." "O Mother," then an advanced Brahmin devotee of the Lord came there to Dashashvamedha Tirtha, a wealthy landowner. He and his associates had come to feed the Brahmins. That great soul performed his morning duties, set aside a large area, and brought many wonderful things. He quickly fashioned a charming courtyard, set up many open tents, and anointed the ground with his own hand. Then he placed Lord Krishna in his Shalagram Shila form on a beautiful golden throne. Filled with happiness and carefully following proper rituals, he devoutly worshipped that deity. He offered delicious foods, costly garments, and many other valuables to Lord Hari. Then he celebrated a grand festival, wherein he himself danced to the accompaniment of singing and instrumental music. Then he bowed down to offer respects to the various Brahmins who could eloquently speak on the Vedas, Puranas, and other scriptures. He bowed down to sannyasis, householders, and brahmacharis. With sweet words and polite behavior, he pleased many Vaishnavas who were always eager to taste the bliss of chanting Lord Krishna's glories. He placed on his head the water that had washed their feet, and he worshipped them by giving them the food and valuables that had been offered to the personality of Godhead. After this, he respectfully fed the poor and the outcasts, and he even satisfied dogs, jackals, birds, and insects. When everyone was satisfied in this way, the saintly persons requested that he also eat. He and his associates then happily ate the remnants of that nectarian feast. He then approached Lord Krishna, and with folded hands offered the fruits of all his actions to the Lord. Then he put the Lord to rest, and was about to go home, when Sri Narada, who had been observing all his actions, suddenly stood up in that assembly of sages and again said, "Oh, this person is very dear to Lord Mahavishnu." Narada went up to that Brahmin and, proclaiming to the world that this person is the object of Sri Krishna's great mercy, said, "O King of Brahmins, Lord Krishna is very merciful to you. I have seen how in this sacred place you have given your money, property, generosity, and power." That learned Brahmin then humbly said to the sage Narada, "This is not true, my lord. What signs of Lord Krishna's mercy do you see in me? I am insignificant. How much can I give in charity? What power do I have? Where is my devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? In the south is a great king in whose country are many temples of the Lord. This king is the real object of Lord Krishna's mercy. Sustained by eating food offered to Lord Krishna, many sannyasis, pilgrims, and others comfortably travel through his country. Near the royal palace is a deity of the Lord. It is as if the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, whose spiritual form is eternal and full of knowledge and bliss, has, out of his great kindness, personally come there and is deliberately standing still without even moving slightly. In that place is always a newer and newer festival, where at every moment many valuable presentations are made to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The king respectfully feeds all the residents of his kingdom, as well as visitors from foreign lands, with prasadam offered to Lord Vishnu. Because they are very eager to see the deity of the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they are filled with the happiness of tasting remnants of food offered to the deity, and because in this place they may meet saintly persons, many devotees of Lord Vishnu come from foreign lands to permanently reside in his country. The king worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Brahmins, and he has given his country to them as their property. For this reason, in his country there is no calamity, no suffering, and no fear. In his country the ground produces crops, even without being plowed. Rain falls as much as one could desire, and excellent fruits, roots, and garments are easily obtainable. Righteously engaged in their various occupational duties, and completely devoted to Lord Krishna, all the people of his country are very happy. They all follow their king as if they were his sons and daughters. Prideless, and always humbly engaged in service of the Lord, that king pleases everyone. He is very dear to the infallible Supreme Personality. In the presence of the deity, regularly chanting the Lord's holy names with his brothers, wives, children, grandchildren, servants, government ministers, priests, and other associates, and in that Sankirtan personally dancing, singing transcendental songs, and playing musical instruments, he always brings great happiness to the Lord. A host of good qualities follow his great devotion to Lord Krishna. How many of them can I enumerate? Of how many of them am I aware?